Okay. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Mondays with Mike, numero tres. This is essentially the accent show where I just kind of break down the NFL scores immediately, Monday morning. So if you haven't seen it yet, that is what I do here. All right. So let's get into it because we got a lot happen. Obviously, Thursday night, 31-13 Dolphins. We talked about that on the show. We get into 49ers taking on the Giants. This was also in the Meadowlands. And like I said on the show, the Giants are not a good football team. You're not going to throw Devontae Freeman in there and have him do what Saquon Barkley does. And even if Barkley aside, this is a team that just they're not good. It's a blast crater. You're putting duct tape over a blast crater. Okay, we're trying to lie to ourselves. Like Devontae Freeman's had a season worth talking about. In recent years. It's been since 2016. He hasn't had a 1,000-yard season since 2016. I get humoring the guy, but I think the Giants wasted their money. The guy doesn't have anything left. He rushed 5 carries for 10 yards. Daniel Jones had more rushing yards than he did. Daniel Jones also, he's clearly struggling out there. The Giants didn't even get a touchdown. They scored 3 field goals. That was their big contribution here. So I guess Graham Gano is getting some work. Nick Mullins had some pretty good numbers. 25 for 36, 343, 1 TD. Brandon Ayuk with a rushing TD. Jerick McKinnon with a rushing tidy. Jeffrey Wilson with a rushing TD. Jeffrey Wilson also with a receiving TD. So it's interesting to see what they're doing even without their main receivers. Mohamed Sanu, worthless out there. 1 for 9 for 0. Jordan Reed, 2 for 23 for 0. It's weird. But Brandon Ayuk, 5 for 70. So he is their lead receiver in that game. So I don't know if I'd call it a breakout performance, but he did something there. Defensively, both sides, nothing really notable. Deion Jordan got a sack for San Fran, but other than that, no. Robbie Gould, 3 for 4. Moving on, Washington taking on the Browns. This was in Cleveland. Browns win 34-20. Dwayne Haskins looked to have struggled a bit. 21 for 37, 224, 2 TDs, 3 interceptions. Antonio Gibson, 9 carries, 49 yards, 1 TD. You certainly probably could have given him some more carries. This is the kid that you drafted in the second round. Kind of interesting to note. Peyton Barber, 3 for 6. Yikes. Terry McLaurin, 4 for 83, no scores. Dontrell Inman, 3 for 38 and 2 scores, receiving wise. Defensively, Jonathan Allen with a sack. Montez Sweat with a sack. Interesting to note, Chase Young was ruled out because of a groin injury. So hopefully he gets better. Yikes. Way to make it completely obvious that you just woke up. Good job, Mike. Anyway, hopefully he gets better. Obviously, I've made it pretty clear on the show. For one, I have a soft spot for this Washington team. I don't expect them to do good, but I have a soft spot for them. And I'm a big Chase Young fan. I think that he's got a bright future ahead of him. So hopefully he bounces back from this injury. We wish him well. On the Cleveland side of the ball, Baker Mayfield, 16 for 23, 156, 2 TDs, no picks. I mean, you're not turning the ball over. Right on. Nick Chubb, 19 carries, 108 yards, 2 TDs. He's a top 3 running back in the NFL right now, in case you haven't realized. Kareem Hunt, 16 for 46 carries, no scores. Holy moly. I'm going to do it again. All right. Odell Beckham, 4 for 59, no TDs. That's the Odell I remember. 4 for 36 and 0 for Jarvis Landry. Kareem Hunt, 2 for 18 and 1. And Harrison Bryant, 1 for 3 and 1. Weird. Carl Joseph with an interception. Myles Garrett with 2 sacks. He's earning that money. Sheldon Richardson with a sack, and B.J. Goodson with a pick. So, and Malcolm Smith with a pick. Wow. That's right, because the 3. Duh. So Cleveland's defense definitely proved to be a big problem for Washington. It'll be interesting to see what Washington does moving forward. Bengals Eagles ends in a tie, 23-all, and of course it does. Both of these teams suck ass. Both of these teams have 0 offensive line. I watched Joe Burrow get flattened. There was just this nasty replay. I don't know who did it, but you see it and you know exactly the one I'm talking about, where Joe Burrow just gets levied out there. It was gross to watch. Now the Eagles don't have a really good O-line either, but Carson Wentz's play has certainly been regressing. Yeah, I'm going to do it 3 times. Right on. Joe Burrow, numbers aren't terrible. 31 for 44. 312 yards and 2 TDs. Compared to Wentz's 29 for 47, 225, 1 TD, 2 interceptions. Gross. Joe Mixon, 17 carries for 49 yards, not getting a lot done on the ground there. Tyler Boyd, 10 for 125. Gio Bernard, 3 for 55. T. Higgins, 5 for 40 and 2 scores. AJ Green, quiet, 5 for 36. I'm telling you, AJ Green owners, hang on to him. Good things will happen. They come to those who wait. Defensively, Carl Lawson with 2 sacks, Logan Wilson with a pick, Sam Hubbard with a sack, and LaShawn Sims with a pick. Other than that, Randy Bullock, 3 for 3. Carson Wentz, obviously we talked about him. Miles Sanders, 18 for 95. Carson Wentz, 9 for 65 and a rushing touchdown. Aside from that, nobody really running and doing anything. Greg Ward Jr. It ain't happening, boys. Greg Ward Jr., 8 for 72 and 1. Zach Ertz, 7 for 70, no scores. Dallas Goedert left the game in the first quarter with I believe, a foot injury or an ankle injury. And on defense, Brandon Graham, 2 sacks. Derek Barnett, 2 sacks. No shit. Jalen Mills, a sack and a half. Fletcher Cox with a sack. Josh Sweat with a sack. Malik Jackson with a half sack. I mean, the defense ate. Couldn't pick them off, but they certainly ate. But yeah, no, this one goes to OT. Nothing doing. Ends in a tie. Be interesting to see what happens to both these guys moving forward. But right now, they're terrible. Golly, I'm getting tired of being tired. Okay, Patriots. Raiders, which after the Raiders won their Super Bowl, and beat New Orleans, Brady wanted to tell me, God, I don't know, man. The Raiders look really good. Yeah, they do look good. But guess what? It's the Patriots. And last time I checked, the Patriots still have a squad. Of course, this is going to be trouble for the Raiders. So, Derek Carr, 24, 32, 261, and 2 TDs. I'm going to guess he didn't lose this game for this team. Josh Jacobs, 16 for 71. What is wrong with me? Holy crap, Mike. Come on. 16 for 71. No scores on the ground here in this game. Unfortunate, because Josh Jacobs usually gets at least 1. Hunter Renfrow, 6 for 84 and 1. And then your Foster Moreau, 2 for 25 and 1. Very quiet game otherwise from people. Zay Jones, 3 for 32. How you doing? Nelson Aguilar, 2 for 32. Defensively, Jonathan Abram with an interception. I keep saying he's probably the best piece they have on defense. At least he's my favorite player on their defense. If I have to pick a favorite Raider, I guess I'm picking Jonathan Abram. Patriots, Cam Newton, 17 for 28, 162, 1 TD, 1 interception. Looks like they gave him some trouble, but on the ground. Sonny Michel, 9 carries for 117 yards. Rex Burkhead, 6 carries for 49 yards, 2 touchdowns. So this is what I talk about. The Raiders' defense gives up a lot of points. Doesn't matter how efficient their offense is. Their defense is clearly giving up lot of points. They gave up 30-plus points to Carolina. They gave up 36 points to they gave up 24 points to New Orleans in a game where Drew Brees was clearly having some trouble without Michael Thomas. And they gave up 36 points to New England here. Their defense is losing them games. It's not their offense. Receiving wise, Rex Burkhead, 749 and a touchdown is here as well. Otherwise, N'Keal Carey, Julian Edelman, nothing doing. If you picked up Julian Edelman, holy moly. If you picked up Julian Edelman and you started him, I'm sorry. Dietrich Wise and Shalik Calhoun, each with half a sack. Chase Winovich with a sack, but otherwise defense pretty quiet. Raiders do have a decent O-line, so makes sense to me. And Nick Folk, 3 for 3. Finally, does not miss a kick, so maybe he keeps his job for realsies. Moving on, Bears, Falcons. This was a tumultuous game. I think it was interesting to me. Bears are 2-0 into this game. Falcons were 0-2, and yet the Bears were underdogs. And I picked this. This was my upset. I mean, if it's an upset by Vegas standards, then it's an upset. So Mitch Trubisky, more like bitch Trubisky, comes into this game, plays poorly, 128, 1 TD, throws a costly pick. Matt Nagy says enough is enough, throws Nick Foles out there. He throws for 188 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, brings them back from the brink of death with 20 unanswered points in the fourth quarter. David Montgomery, 14 for 45, nothing on the ground. They do not have a franchise running back in David Montgomery. He's a letdown. It doesn't matter your fantasy numbers. It's not there. David Montgomery is not the guy moving forward. They need to look at somebody else. I mean, they're going to be stuck with him all season, but if they want to actually have a ground game, which the Bears haven't really had since, Matt Forte, they should look into it because David Montgomery is not the guy getting the job done. Allen Robinson, 10 for 123 and a score. Jimmy Graham, 6 for 60 and 2 scores. Oh, there he is. He's still got some life in him. Anthony Miller, 2 for 41 and a score. Defensively, Tayshaun Gibson with an interception and Akeem Hicks with a sack and a half. And Khalil Mack with a half a sack. There you go. He was kind of quiet in the last game. Falcons, Matt Ryan, 19 for 38, 238, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Todd Gurley, 14 for 80 and 1. So I got my bum of the week wrong. Brian Hill, 9 for 58 and 1. So they got a couple. They're kind of trying to now incorporate a bit of a tandem, it looks like. I mean, they combined for about 23 rushes. Calvin Ridley, 5 for 110, no scores. That's a very Julio Jones stat line. Right on. Russell Gage, 2 for 26 and 0. Obviously, they went without Julio in this game, which sucks because I threw Russell Gage in there in my money league thinking, oh, well, he'll get the Calvin Ridley attention. No, that is not what happened. So, fuck, Darqueze Dennard with a pick, Grady Jarrett with a sack, Charles Harris with a sack, and Bildy Araya Wilson with a pick. Younghoe Koo, 2 for 3, but at the end of the day, they lost by 4. So, it is what it is. Just kind of interesting moving forward. Matt Nagy came out and said this morning, Nick Foles is the guy. This is not a week-to-week basis. He is the guy until further notice. Mitch Trubisky, you're not getting that new contract, buddy. You're going to be the next Blake Bortles, it looks like, where, probably be riding the bench next year. Well, some of the others, like, what am I saying here? Pat Mahomes and Deshaun Watson, the other quarterbacks from your class, have gotten the extensions that they asked for. They got them right this year, and they're big. They're huge even. And Trubisky is going to be lucky to sign a 1-year deal backing somebody up next year. It's just, I don't know what item I just got, but right on. But it's not happening for you, Mitch. Seriously. Nick Foles is going to outplay you, and you guys should probably draft a quarterback next year. I don't know. Figure it out. Rams, Bills. This is a game I probably would have watched if I was awake. Was this an afternoon game? Fuck it. I don't care. Afternoon. I was getting my heart broken, but more on that in a minute. Bills win 35-32. Jared Goff, 23-32, 321 with 2 TDs and 1 pick. Darrell Henderson picking up the line share of the carries, 20 for 114 and 1. So Malcolm Brown owners like myself, stop crying. Stop crying. Stop crying. Stop crying. Cooper Kupp, 9 for 107 and a score. Robert Woods, 5 for 74 and a score. So if you started a Rams receiver in this game, you were very happy. Defensively, Aaron Donald, 8, 2 sacks. I believe he had a forced fumble as well. John Johnson with an interception. Leonard Floyd with a sack. Morgan Fox with a sack. So very good showing from the defense. Samuel Sloman, 1 for 2. That's unfortunate. That finished field goal is all the difference of whether or not this game goes to overtime and maybe in the Rams' favor. Josh Allen, 24 for the 24 for 33, 311, 4 TDs, 1 interception. Great day for Josh Allen. Devin Singletary, 13 for 71. He is, as of right now, I mean, he rushes for about 30 yards more a game. This is the this is the David Montgomery of the AFC. So figure it out, Buffalo. Josh Allen, 4 for 8 and a touchdown on the ground as well. So what a day for him. Cole Beasley, 6 for 100, no scores. Stephon Diggs, 4 for 49 and a score. Kevin Tyler, 4 for 24 and 2. And Lee Smith, 1 for 1. I love those. Jordan Poyer, 10 tackles. Taron Johnson, 10 tackles as well. Matt Milano with a sack. Levi Wallace with a pick. AJ Epinesa, the rookie, with a sack. That would have been a second round rookie for them because the first round obviously went and became Stephon Diggs. So some nice play here. This looked like it was a war. Unfortunately, I didn't get to watch it, so I got to go by stats here. It wasn't on our area. Who do we get? We got in our area, the Pacific Northwest, Longview, Washington. We got the Pats New England game, which I slept through. We got Dallas and Seattle, of course, and we'll talk about that in a minute. And then, and San Fran, New York. What a smelly stinker, dude. Who the hell wanted to watch that game? Who would not have picked the Rams Bills over that damn game? Ridiculous. So, you know what? It's interesting. If you're my age, though, I have a solution for this. If you're my age and you're a cord cutter like me, like most of us, and you're not paying $50 a month for Hulu Sports, you probably might watch football games on Yahoo Sports with your phone, right? I figured out the way to watch whatever the hell I wanted to watch. All you got to do, if you're an Android user, it might be easier. Go into your phone, your settings. I believe it's under About Phone and then software. You want to tap build number 7 times. This opens up developer options for your phone. Go into your developer options and you can set a fake GPS app. I use one. It's just called Fake GPS. You go in, I set it to Los Angeles. Then I go into Yahoo Sports, which uses a GPS to check your location to give you the games for free based on where you are. Well, according to my phone, I'm in Los Angeles. Guess what I got to watch last night? I got to watch the Chargers-Panthers game, which was certainly not on in any area outside of LA and Carolina. Think about it. So if you are having trouble, maybe you're not a Seahawks fan, or maybe you're not even in the Pacific Northwest. Maybe you're a fan of a team that is not your hometown team, or maybe you're just given a stinker ass game that you don't want to watch. Spoof your GPS. Use fake GPS. Go get your developer settings, spoof it, and start watching whatever the hell you want to watch. If you're a cord cutter on a budget like me, and you have a phone, I mean, problem solved, huh? Let's help each other out here. Anyway, Texans, Steelers win 28-21. It's funny. I mean, these last two games, the Steelers on paper should dominate, and they kind of just scrape by. Deshaun Watson, 19 for 27, 264, 2 TDs and 1 pick. Not great. David Johnson, 13 for 23. The yardage isn't there, but of course, this is a team that held Saquon Barkley to 9 yards or something, so it's to be expected. And he did get a touchdown on the ground. I didn't realize CJ Prosise plays for the Texans now. I really had high hopes for Prosise as a Seahawk. I loved him, and I believe he played for Notre Dame. Just too damn hurt all the time. Randall Cobb, 4 for 95 at a score. Nicely done. Will Fuller, 4 for 54 and 1. Brandon Cooks is overrated ass, 3 for 23. I don't know if he got hurt, but goddamn. Like, Darren Fells, 0 for 0 for 0. Sorry if you went chasing his score and you played him, you got burned. Defense, not a lot going on. Carlos Watkins with a sack, Charles Ominu with a sack, but that's about it. I mean, what can you say? Roethlisberger is really well protected over on that defense, though, or on the offensive line. Roethlisberger, 23 for 36, 237, 2 TDs. That's good enough. James Conner, 18 for 109 and a score. Behind that, not a whole lot going on. Let's see. Eric Ebron, 5 for 52 and a score. Juju Smith-Schuster, 4 for 43 and a score. James Conner for 40, no score on the through the air, and not a whole lot going on there. Vance McDonald, for fantasy players, Vance McDonald in Pittsburgh continues to be a letdown. How do you guys like all these P sounds? P right into the hard mic. P. Anyway, I'm sure that just got really annoying. Mike Hilton with an interception. TJ Watt with a sack. Right on. Stephen Tuitt with a sack. Devin Bush with half a sack. Vince Williams with a sack. And Bud Dupree with a sack and a half. Defense 8, because of course they did. Because the Texans O-line outside of Laramie Tunsil is not very good. And Laramie Tunsil wasn't really impressing me in that first game against the Chiefs either. All right, Titans, Vikings. Titans eke one out, 31-30. Ryan Tannehill, not your best day. 23 for 37, 321 yards, and a pick. Derrick Henry, return to form here. 26 carries, 119 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Count them, 2 touchdowns. Khalif Raymond, 3 for 18, no scores. Corey Davis, 5 for 69. There's a classic Corey Davis stat line for you, for those uninitiated. If you had him on fantasy ever, you know what I'm talking about. Jonnu Smith, 5 for 61. People catching balls, not a lot of scores through the air. Jonathan Joseph with a pick, with Jeffrey Simmons with a sack, Christian Fulton with a sack. That's the rookie. Amani Hooker with a pick, and Steven Gostowski goes 6 field goals for 6. Let's see here. Vikings, Kirk Cousins continues to throw, make those turnovers happen. 16 for 27, 251, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks. I should add Titans are 3-0 right now, and the Vikings are 0-3. Gross. Dalvin Cook on the ground, 8 like a champ, 22 carries, 181 yards, and a touchdown. And for the first time this season, fantasy owners are properly satisfied with what they're getting out of Dalvin Cook. Receiving yards, Justin Jefferson, my God, what a breakout performance. 7 for 175 and a touchdown. Adam Thielen, 3 for 29 and a touchdown. Kyle Rudolph, 2 for 11 and a touchdown. Defensively, Harrison Smith with a pick, Yannick Ngakoue with another sack. That's 2 in a row now for him. Dan Bailey missed a field goal. So, not good when that's a 1-point game. Then we get to my little heartbreaker over here. Panthers, Chargers. Panthers take it over the Chargers, 21-16. They led the whole game. And at first the Chargers were doing a pretty good job at keeping them out of the end zone. They were just holding them to field goals. A really bad penalty set us back, and because of course it did, man. Like there was penalties all over the place in this game. I can't tell you. Number 72 on our offense, the kid who we were throwing in at center for a minute. I don't know his name, and I think he's glad I don't. With illegal hands to the face twice, and it was just fucking him. So that set us back. That set us back off this really deep Mike Williams catch. I remember being just absolutely fuming at work. I probably scared Eric and Brady a little bit. That happened. The same classic Tillery offsides. It's like he's playing really good, and then he gets an offsides, and it's like, fuck, can you just fucking stop? You know, my God, you've only been playing football since you were in Pee Wee. Like, can you just not go offsides? How fucking hard is that? I'm sorry. Anyway, no, I'm really mad about that. Goddamn. Justin Herbert, he actually played pretty well. I mean, he threw a pick and it was ugly to watch, but back-to-back 300-yard games. He did get a little rushing yards in there, not a ton, but he can definitely he figured out how to slide a little bit instead of taking a shot head on. He didn't make just a rookie mistake with the pick that he threw. It was just kind of, I don't know. I don't want to talk about it. No, he didn't lose us that game, though. That's for sure. And I mean, there was just too many fucking penalties on the offensive and defensive lines. Luckily, not really any pass interference. Comes down to the very end. Justin Herbert has 1:46 to make this drive with no timeouts. Thank you, Anthony Lynn. No timeouts. And he gets buoyed a little bit by a really bad penalty that kind of helps him out, or not a really bad penalty, but he gets buoyed by a penalty that helps him out. Keeps moving the chains, and get to the red zone. And this team has a problem scoring in the red zone, and it's not good. Like we are missing like a Malcolm Floyd. You know, I mean, we have it. It's Mike Williams. Mike Williams is our go-to red zone guy. Mike Williams left the game in the fourth quarter with a hamstring injury. But just somebody with a high vertical, big hands to go catch passes. He tries to go hit Keenan Allen off in the corner. Trey Boston, well scouted, and keeps it out of Allen's hands. And then he goes for this awesome pass to Keenan Allen, a hook and ladder that would have gone boom, lateral to Austin Ekeler. Austin Ekeler had a wide open lane to just go deliver, the mail. And Ekeler bobbles the lateral and drops it and fucking loses the game. And I'm just and instead of it becoming, wow, look at what Justin Herbert did. Look at how he got his first career fourth quarter comeback. And they never let it die. It just becomes, textbook Chargers. It's like, fuck this team sometimes. As a Chargers fan, like I'm never going to give up on them, but fuck this team sometimes. Just like it feels like it happens because they're wearing Chargers uniforms. I feel like any other team does that play yesterday, they win, but because it was the Chargers, we bobbled it, so everybody else has something to laugh at. Fucking infuriating. Just makes my blood boil. Teddy Bridgewater, 22 for 28, 235 and 1 touchdown. And that was to Mike Davis. Mike Davis actually had a pretty decent day, for a backup. 13 for 46 on the ground, but 8 for 45 and a score in the air. Other receivers were pretty well contained. DJ Moore, 2 for 65. Robbie Anderson, 5 for 55. And nobody else was really getting any good rushes on the ground. They even went to Curtis Samuel for a few carries. Very interesting way they're using him. Defensively, the defense fucking ate our lunch. They just played very passionate, good defense. Brian Burns with a sack, Marquise Haynes with a sack, Dante Jackson, My God, I didn't do that first one on purpose. Dante Jackson with the interception that he almost took home. Pharaoh Cooper. Why am I reading that? I'm reading that literally because it's next in the line. Don't he didn't do anything special. Don't even worry about that. Joe Sly though, and he will be special teams player of the week. Joe Sly, 5 for 5 on field goals. Granted, his longest one was 31 yards. They were all chip shots, but this is the thing. We have guys missing chip shots right now. If you've got a kicker going 5 for 5, like I put a ring on it, dude. Chargers, Justin Herbert, 35 for 49, 333 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Austin Eckler, 12 for 59 and a touchdown on the ground. Josh Kelly, 8 for 43. So the run defense for the Panthers was actually a pretty good squad. Keenan Allen, 13 for 132 and a score. Fantasy owners rejoice. That connection is only going to get stronger. Austin Eckler, 11 for 84 through the air. I had Eckler. He had a pretty good score. Hunter Henry, 5 for 50. Jalen Guyton, 2 for 23. So much for my breakout player of the week, too. The only thing I think I got right was the upset. KJ Hill, 1 for 15. KJ Hill dropped 2 passes in that game. Left me a little disheartened. I mean, I felt really confident with him being my second round or our 7th round pick that we got a big fat steal. He still has time to work on it, but boy, he wasn't helping us out. It really bummed me out. Kaiser White, 8 tackles. He was looking like a beast out there. Rayshawn Jenkins with a sack. Joey Bosa with a sack. I thought for sure they would have given half the credit on that to Linval Joseph. But yeah, Joey Bosa, 3 straight games with a sack. He gets one, which makes me happy. I'm just reading that because it's next in segment. And Michael Badgley, 1 for 1 for 41. And of course, Ty Long punting the ball like a mofo. Heartbreaking game, and you got to think that this was the Chargers' opportunity to get probably their last win for a few games. I mean, they're going to go to Tampa, then they have to go to New Orleans. Maybe you can beat a struggling New Orleans Saints team, depending on if Michael Thomas is going to be there or not. But I don't think so. I have a hard time believing that this Chargers team can beat the Bucs or the Saints. Let alone, like what a wet dream it would be if they beat both for me. But like, dude, I just don't see it. I think they're going to have a real rough time. I think defensively they can keep guys contained, but I feel like there's just going to be more blunders ahead. So I can't even predict it. The Jets go to Lucas Oil Stadium and they left with very red heinies. Sam Darnold just struggled immensely, but I mean, the guy has no weapons. So he goes 17 for 29, 168, 1 touchdown and 3 picks. No, I didn't watch this game. No, I feel like I would have just gone for I would have opted for irreversible anal prolapse before I would have watched this game. Frank Gore, 15 for 57 on the ground. A 37-year-old is their best option at running back. Unbelievable. Braxton Berrios, 4 for 64 with the only score. Everybody else sucks. I mean, I'm sorry, guys. I'm being real. No sacks on the defense. Why would you expect there to be sacks on the defense? This defense blows a donkey cock. No Jamal Adams. You guys traded him. He was getting sick and fucking tired of being there. No CJ Mosley. He's worried about the Rona. Kicking. What do you mean kicking? There's no chance for you guys to kick because you guys can't get anything done in the red zones. And Sam Darnold threw like 2 pick sixes or something like that. I mean, holy hot damn. Phillip Rivers has a good game, 17 for 21, 217 and a touchdown. I'm dead serious. I think the Jets are the worst team in the NFL right now. And I don't think that they're going to go on a Dolphins-esque run, like where they go 5 and whatever. No, I mean, it'd be funny if they did because they are the worst team and they would finish with not the worst record despite everybody knowing. It'd be like a big fat elephant in the room. Jonathan Taylor, 13 for 59 and a score. T.Y. Hilton, 3 for 52. Mo Alley Cox, 3 for 50 and a score. So nothing. I mean, the offense wasn't really electrifying, but the defense, man. T.J. Carey, 1 interception. Kenny Moore with a sack. Justin Houston with a sack. Xavier Rhodes with 2 picks. One of them went to the house. Let's see. Yeah, and Carey had the other pick six. Just gross. Rodrigo Blankenship, 2 for 3. Yeah, I think that he missed his first field goal. Cowboys Seahawks. I did watch this one. This puppy went back and forth and back and forth. At first, it looked like the Seahawks were going to have it. No, that's cool, Mike. Yawns are cool. They were pretty neck and neck outside of the second quarter. It looked like the Seahawks were going to take it, and then the Dallas Cowboys start charging back. But no, it didn't happen. Although costly mistake by DK Metcalf. Very, how would I say, Leon Lett-esque. He has this huge deep ball, catches it, and he's kind of walking out with it forward right before he gets into the end zone. Defender behind him bats the thing out, and it fumbles itself out of bounds via the end zone. And I guess that results in a touchback for the Cowboys. So it's immediate shift of possession. The only other, and I say Leon Lett because that's the only other time I've seen something like that, was Leon Lett with the, in the Super Bowl. Oh boy. A lot of people pissed off about that, but he redeemed himself, had a nice deep touchdown toward the end, which put them over 38-31. And then you had a 2-minute drill for Dak Prescott, and it just didn't happen. He gets intercepted in the end zone. Prescott finishing with 472 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Zeke Elliott 14 for 34 and a score, but pretty well bottled up. I mean, yeah, you're not going to be able to hold Zeke back, 5 yards from the end zone, but he was pretty well bottled up. Michael Gallup was the lead receiver here, 6 for 138 and a score. Cedric Wilson, 5 for 107 and 2 scores. Amari Cooper, 9 for 86 and nothing. CeeDee Lamb, 5 for 65 and nothing. Trayvon Diggs was the one that punched the ball out, which caused the turnover. Aldon Smith with 3 sacks. Keep your eye on him. Watch out for him. He's playing like it's 2012 again. Antoine Woods with a sack as well. But not a lot of picks, and you'll see why. Russell Wilson, 315 yards, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions. First player to go 5 touchdown passes in back-to-back games, I believe. Chris Carson, 14 for 64, nothing on the ground. DK Metcalf, 4 for 110 and a touchdown. Could be 4 for a lot more and 2 touchdowns, but anyway. Tyler Lockett, 9 for 103. So if you played Tyler Lockett, you were very happy. Greg Olsen, 5 for 61, including a very crucial 4th down. Jacob Hollister, 1 for 1 and 1. And on defense, Shaq Griffin with an interception and 11 tackles to his name. And Alton Robinson with a sack. Ryan Neal with a pick. Jaron Reed with a sack. Yeah, good day for them. And Jason Myers, no need to get the field goal unit on here. This was all touchdowns all the time. Right? Yeah, apparently. What happened there? I just am finding it hard to believe there wasn't any touchdowns. Or wasn't any field goals. There's no box score I can look at, is there? Nope. Well, whatever. Whatever. The game's over, Mike. Shut up. Lions Cardinals. Lions get their first win of the season, 26-23. Matt Stafford, 22 for 31, 270 and 2 touchdowns. Adrian Peterson, 22 carries for 75 yards. No scores, but he continues to be the leading rusher on this team. In fact, DeAndre Swift wasn't even given a carry in the backfield. Kenny Golladay, 6 for 57 and a score. Jesse James, 3 for 28 and a score. DeAndre Swift caught a pass for 19 yards, but was not really used other than that. Interesting. Jeff Okudah with a pick. That was their first round rookie. Daron Harmon with a pick. Jamie Collins with a pick. Kyler Murray, 23 for 35, 270, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Kenyon Drake, 18 for 73. Kyler Murray again, 5 for 29 on the ground with a rushing touchdown. Andy Isabella caught 4 for 47 for 2 touchdowns. DeAndre Hopkins, 10 for 137 and no touchdowns. Defensively, let's see. Hassan Reddick with a sack. Corey Peters with a sack. Devon Kennard with a sack. Jordan Phillips with a sack. No picks, though. So, yeah, upset win there for Detroit. They go 1-2. Matt Patricia, your job's a little more secure, but you're still going to get fired midseason. Buccaneers, Broncos. Buccaneers dominate 28-10. Broncos never had a chance. Tom Brady goes 25 for 38, 297, 3 touchdowns. Nothing really on the ground. Ronald Jones, 13 for 53. Leonard Fournette, 7 for 15. Crashing back to earth. Scott Miller, 3 for 83. Chris Godwin, 5 for 64 and no touchdowns. Mike Evans, 2 for 2. How often do you see one of those? Yeah, yikes. Defensively, Shaq Barrett, 2 sacks. Antoine Winfield Jr. with a sack. Jordan Whitehead with a sack. Mike Edwards with a pick. Levante David with a pick. Jason Pierre-Paul with a sack. And Vita Vea with a sack. So, I mean, just eating Jeff Driscoll's lunch all day. And then they sent in Brett Rippon. 2 similar results. Jeff Driscoll, 17 for 30, 176, 1 TD, 1 interception. Brett Rippon, 8 for 9, 53 yards and 1 interception. Melvin Gordon, 8 for 26 and nothing on the ground. Hey, like that, Melvin. Hey, like them apples. Tim Patrick, 4 for 43 and a touchdown. That was it. And defensively, not a whole lot going aside from Shelby Harris, 2 sacks. Ugly, sad for this Broncos team that is just mired by injury. I mean, they're worse off with injuries than we are. The Chargers, I mean. Packers Saints. At this point in the night, I just was hoping that my pick'em was going well, and with the aid of the Packers winning, it is. I'm actually I have a 1-game lead in the pick'em. I have the Ravens. We all have the Ravens. So if anybody wants to beat me, it's going to come down to getting a couple scores. Green Bay Packers 37-30 over the Saints. This was a absolute shootout. It comes down to the Saints down 10 off of a Green Bay Packers touchdown resulting from 2 Janoris Jenkins PIs. He just loves to do it. What can I say? They're down 10. New Orleans drives down, kicks a Will Lutz field goal. They go for the onside. Ball doesn't travel 10 yards. Green Bay gets it back. Victory formation. Game over. Aaron Rodgers, 21 for 32, 283 and 3. Aaron Jones, 16 for 69 and 1. Alan Lazard, 6 for 146 and 1. Robert Tonyan Jr., 5 for 50 and 1. Mercedes Lewis, 1 for 18 and 1. Marquez Valdes-Scantling, 1 for 5. It's clearly Alan Lazard is the number 2 here. I have not been a big fan of Marquez Valdes-Scantling in the long run. Alan Lazard coming in and leaping over him makes all the sense in the world to me. He should be the number 2 moving forward. But yeah, for a team without Devontae Adams, they moved the ball pretty well against New Orleans. Defensively, let's see, Kingsley Kiki, whatever, with 2 sacks. Other than that, not what the fuck. Anyway. Other than that, not a ton going on there. Mason Crosby, 3 for 3 on field goals with a long of 52. And then the Saints, Breeze, 29 for 36, 288, 3 touchdowns. Latavius Murray, 12 for 58. Alvin Kamara, 6 for 58 on the ground. Alvin Kamara, 13 for 139 and 2 in the air. Emmanuel Sanders, 4 for 56 and 1 in the air. And then defensively, Demario Davis with a sack. But other than that, I mean, nobody really ate on defense in this game. This was an all-out war. Will Lutz, 3 for 3 with a long of 45. I mean, outside the very end there with the PIs and all that, this was as pretty evenly matched as it gets. And a big win for Green Bay. They go 3-0 for the first time in a while. And the Saints fall to 1-2 for the first time in a minute as well. So, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how New Orleans gets to bounce back from this one. Today, though, we have a Big matchup. The top two teams in the AFC, many people have them back and forth, 1 seed, 2 seed, 1 seed, 2 seed. And we're going to get a preview of perhaps the potential AFC championship here. Chiefs, Ravens tonight, Monday Night Football. You're going to watch it unless you're a big fat square. This should be a wonderful game. I have the Ravens taking this one. But honestly, anybody could win this one. It's two teams that are about as evenly matched as I could think. So yeah, honestly, part of me is saying go Chiefs because if they win, I win $70 today outright because I'm a point ahead. But no, I mean I'm a point ahead, but scores could still happen. Literally, I predicted 36-33 Ravens. He predicted 37-34 Ravens. So we'll see what happens. But I might come out of this $70 richer, which is all we can hope for. And Thursday Night Football is the injury-riddled Broncos taking on the shit sandwich Jets. That is as extensively a preview as I'm going to give you. Nobody's even thinking about scores for that fucking thing because nobody wants to watch it. I doubt I will watch this game. No, I have to because I'm doing a sports show. But I'm not going to like it. I don't think anybody will. New York's not going to like it. They're not even going to win this game. I don't even think they'll win this game. It's tough to say. Like the Broncos are hurt so bad, but the Jets suck so bad. I think it's as good a shot for the Jets to get their first win as any. But I will never bet on the Jets to win a game. They're not good. This is the worst team I've seen so far this season, period. And like my team's sitting at 1-2, but everybody and their brother sees the potential. Nobody sees potential in Sam Darnold. Nobody sees potential in this Jets offense. Not with the weapons they've got. The weapons they've got. Embarrassing. Anyway, I think we're at the 46-minute mark. That's going to wrap it up. Stick with me. We'll be back Friday for the show, the main show, Long Shot Sportscast. And of course, I'll be here every Monday. I guess around 11 now. That seems to be when I get my ass out of bed. Because it's a work day. You know how it is. So take her easy. Keep it frosty. And I will see you later.